Breaking news! Nako, napakaraming palang interballistic missiles ng Iran na hindi sumasabog na naglalanding sa Israel. Narito ang ulat galing mismo sa Israel News TV. Ating panoorin.
This is full of fuel, the whole body?
Yeah, this is just a fuel tank.
So how come it did not catch fire if it's all full of fuel?
It burns on air and it brings all the missile, the warhead, to the target, and it's supposed to break down from it. These were with an interceptor, the Arrow 3. It was exploded on air and just fell down.
What's the weight, including the warhead?
Including the warhead, is somewhere around 18 tons. 18 tons.
Do you see any difference in terms of the missiles used in the first Iranian attack and the second? And what can you learn about?
Well, on the first Iranian attack, they used those old versions with liquid fuel, and on the second, they used more solid propellant and solid fuel. Those were the main differences. Of course, the systems were much advanced, and the amount was different. They didn't use UAVs, they didn't use cruise missiles as well as the first time. They focused on the ballistics missiles.
Was it produced in Iran?
Yeah, of course.
How much does it cost and how much cost to intercept it?
Well, I don't know the cost of making that one, and I don't think that I can say the cost of an Arrow 3 system.
And these UAVs?
Those UAVs are mostly from Gaza. This is the V-tail, the Shihab, mostly from Gaza.
Gaza?
Yeah.
Where did you find this one?
This one near Arad. It's a city in the south of Israel.
Was close to a civilian area? Or?
Yeah, it was less than a kilometer from Arad. Arad is the population in there are something around 30,000 people. Just 1 kilometer from there.
How accurate this thing is?
It's supposed to be very accurate, and it's supposed to hit a target in the few hundred meters from the distance of 1,500 kilometers from Iran to here. And as I said before, we found it in Herzliya in a street.
And in airport, also in airport?
In airports, in Be'er Sheva, in a street.
Airbase?
So, not just in the airbase. We found a UXO that were found underground that didn't explode in Be'er Sheva, in the city, inside.
That's from this one. From this one.
From something like that, not this one. This one we found near Arad.
Right.
We found something similar in Be'er Sheva.
An unexploded warhead
Yeah.
in the street in Beersheba.
Yeah. It was taken down by police bomb squad just a few days ago.
What would have happened if that had exploded?
So I said before, a massive casualty. Hundreds of dead people.
How many missiles of this type did you count on October?
Something on October 1st, it was a little bit less than 180 from basically two kinds, the Khaybar Shakan and some Raeds, but mostly Khaybar Shakan.
And in April, around 120 those missiles. And of course, additionally, there were a lot of UAVs, cruise missiles, and different types of munition firepods as well. Thank you. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We are currently operating in Lebanon. We've been defending the Israeli civilians for a year from Hezbollah's attack. Hezbollah started an unprovoked war exactly a year ago, yesterday, and we have been defending Israelis for a year. And we've also been carrying out attacks to remove those threats for Israeli civilians, to eliminate those senior terrorists who want to carry out terror attacks, an October 7th style attack from the north, and to bring those munitions down. Currently, we are focusing on limited, localized, targeted raids in southern Lebanon to remove those anti-tank missiles, cornets, RPGs, those advanced precision-guided missiles pointed towards Israeli civilians, making sure our civilians can come back home to their houses in northern Israel, and we hope to do that as soon as possible.
Last question. You were talking about the difference between Hamas and Hezbollah. Can you make clear what is the difference?
Hezbollah is one of the world's largest terror organizations. It is basically a terror army larger than most armies in the world. Hamas is also a very large terror army, but Hezbollah is one of the largest in the world, funded, backed, and armed by Iran for the last few decades. They pose a real threat for the stability of the region, and they had an arsenal in the beginning of the war of over 150,000 rockets, missiles, and UAVs that were mostly pointed towards Israel. We are fighting to take away their abilities, to push them away from our borders, and to make sure our civilians can come back home.
אם אתה יכול רק להסתובב איפשהו באזור שם יותר רחוק ממני, אני אשתמש בזה בתור בירול. בבקשה, בבקשה.
No country in the world will accept a ballistic missile attack against our country, let alone 180 ballistic missile attack. This attack is unacceptable.
הולכים לעשות תדרוך קצר על הטיל. נסביר על הטיל.
אוקיי, I'm okay.
Good?
All good.
Most of it is probably a few more hundred kilograms, and maybe it can give you more accuracy.
Can I ask you to say some words about this?
Where are you from?
From Rafa. So,
What video outfit? RTE?
no, RIA Novosti, not RT.
Here.
So,